Welcome you inside this edition of Big Ten Today. Rick Pizzo, Andy Katz looking fresh as a daisy after, what was it, a 5:50 departure from Lincoln Thursday morning?
You have not lived till you take that 5:50 from Lincoln to Chicago, fresh off of watching a late night Northwestern USC after our game between Nebraska and Washington.
Hey, that is the life that we choose.
Yes.
It's the life that we lead.
I'm not complaining.
Thank goodness to the airlines for getting Andy here on time. It is our big story as the Huskers remain unbeaten. 19-0 this year. That's 23 straight. Bryce Sanford shot the lights out of the ball as he often does. And how about the leadership of Sam Hoiberg leading the team in both rebounds and assists? As usual, a true team effort for the Huskers, 76-66 over Washington. Andy Katz sitting next to me right now. Last night, he was interviewing Fred Hoiberg postgame.
All right, Fred, remaining undefeated in the Big Ten overall, one of three left in the entire country. How'd you get this one done?
You know, I thought our defense really picked up at the end of the first half, and I thought we carried that through for most of it. Steinbach got loose. He's a hell of a player. Danny does a great job running good actions to get him loose. They got us a little bit in the high-low. I thought they outworked us a little bit there for a stretch, but I liked our rhythm. We got in a good rhythm offensively. We struggled down the stretch a little bit, but we'll take it. This is a great win against a really good team.
Braden Frager goes out. He's not wearing a boot. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but this team finds a way for someone else to step up. What is it about this group?
Well, I'll say this, Andy. This is one of the best teams I've ever had as far as chemistry is concerned. They just go out and play for each other. They're extremely unselfish. They make the next play. They're really connected on the defensive end. That, I think, was a big question coming in, is how could we get stops and with our physicality and rebounding. But when you have a connected group like we do, it makes things a lot easier. These guys, I'm telling you, they've been an absolute joy to coach. There's no distractions with them, and that's what it's all about. And I'll go to war any day with these guys.
Dating back to last year, Fred Hoiberg's Huskers have won 23 consecutive games. One more, and Nebraska ties Ohio State, which won 24 consecutive through the course of the 2010-2011 season. That game coming up next against Minnesota before Nebraska then plays Michigan at the end of the month. Of course, Illinois won 29 straight during the 04-05 season. Andy, before we get into Nebraska's streak, what's going on right now in terms of all the positivity, an update on Braden Frager?
So after that interview, later at night, I did still talk to Fred Hoiberg, and he said that they found out it was a lower ankle sprain, not a high one. And we know in covering sports that that's a big difference.
That's
a
a good
high
thing.
ankle sprain, you can be out for a significant amount of time. Low ankle sprain, they put him in a boot, obviously, for precaution, keep it immobilized last night. So they're waiting to do an MRI or some sort of, further examination on Thursday, so we don't have that report yet. But the news that it was lower versus higher late last night, that's at least some positive news. We'll see if he's able to go on this road trip or not.
So Fred told you that this is the best team he's ever had in terms of chemistry. When we watch on TV, you can see that a little bit, but you get such a better sense when you see it in person. So what stands out to you when you see this team in person, not just about the production, but about the way they connect with each other?
Well, one thing I will say that, a lot of times I'm not a big fan of carrying over from one season to the next and win streaks because it's a completely different roster. But it is actually pretty unique here that they have 4 holdovers, really 5 when you add Rink Mass. He just didn't play because he was hurt last year. In today's college basketball, and maybe even argue college football, that's rare to have players that played in a postseason the previous year and have a number of guys back, including Sam Hoiberg, Berke Buchtengel, Cale Jacobson. These are players who participated in that significant run last year. And then you add Bryce Sanford, who they recruited out of high school. He goes to Iowa to follow his brother. And he really has been a difference maker. When this season's over and we start looking at, impact transfers, Bryce Sanford's going to have to be in a top 5. He's been that significant. Obviously, Mass coming back from his injury. But Danny Sprinkle, the Washington coach, yesterday during their practice earlier in the day, he was saying that he would make a case that Sam Hoiberg is their MVP, that Sam Hoiberg is their all Big Ten player. And he really has elevated his overall game, not just the glue guy. He's making big shots. the way he's distributing the ball, the way he's defending and taking on some of those major assignments that will still have to come here in the next couple of weeks. I mean, I saw that connectivity, and really even when Frager went down, when he came back in the second half, Connor Esigian, who's out, transferred from Wisconsin, it was Esigian and Frager on the bench, a little prayer together. Just the fact that they sort of have this sort of all-in that you saw in person, and it's translating on the court.
I'm not making the claim right now that Nebraska is going to win the national championship like Indiana did, but obviously you find those similarities in guys on that Indiana football team and guys in this Nebraska team who maybe were not thought of highly either coming out of high school or earlier in their college careers, but they just work together.
The one thing I will say, and I know football national championship versus just winning a game, it's not the same, but there is one similarity, is that as down as Indiana was in football, Nebraska has never won an NCAA tournament game. So there's a good chance at least that box will get checked this March.
Well, certainly if they're a number one seed when we get to NCAA tournament time, we'll get Andy's thoughts on that with bowl predictions later. Mike DeCourcy, our bracketologist, does currently have Nebraska on that one line. Another one of those teams that we do expect to be in the conversation for not a top seed, but a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, Illinois, was dealt some tough news earlier this week. Kylan Boswell fractures a bone in his hand. We understand going to be gone for probably 4 weeks or potentially more. So Illinois plays its first game without Boswell. I guess the good news is it's against the Maryland team that's struggling right now, especially defensively. Illinois scores 89. We wondered who would step up. How about Andrei Stojakovic dropping 30 against the Terps?
Yeah, and that's desperately what they needed. Obviously, Keaton Wagler has been phenomenal as a freshman. Where they're going to miss Boswell in 2 areas. One, defensively, especially with their next game, because they're going against a Purdue team that's going to be a little salty after what happened at the end of the UCLA game. And now you lose your best on-ball defender against Braden Smith. So that's going to really be a tough challenge for the Illini, but also just the overall experience. Boswell has really helped in that locker room, a lot of international players, younger guys, freshmen. He's been that steadying force. He still can do that while injured, but on the court, I think they will miss that leadership and that defense.
Well, they're also going to miss his ball handling. When he's on the floor, Andy, their turnover rate is just under 13%. When he's off the floor, it's just over 20. Now, I know this is a team that can score, but the question becomes a little bit with this particular Illinois team, can they defend well enough? And it becomes much more difficult to defend if you're giving the ball away. That being said, last couple of games as we watch this team, it was Stojakovic. Game before, Zvonimir Ivasic was terrific. Brad Underwood has said time and time again, it runs through Tomislav, Ivasic, Keaton Wagler, who you just mentioned. Maybe not right now as good a team as a Nebraska, a Michigan, or Michigan State, but when they play to their potential, man, this group of pieces is really dangerous.
Yeah, and I think the main thing for them is can they navigate the next couple of weeks to stay, where I think Mike has them, on a top 4 line seed. It's going to be very difficult for them to win the Big Ten regular season title, obviously, without Boswell because of what's ahead of them.
Well, look
Purdue,
at the next 3 of the next 5.
Right.
Purdue, Nebraska, Michigan State.
Yes. And so, at Nebraska, at Michigan State, at Purdue. That's brutal. It's going right now. Even if Nebraska was not playing as well as they are, it's an incredibly difficult road place because they sell out every game. So that's a really tall order for the Illini. They just have to sort of stay above water for seeding. Obviously, they still want to win the Big Ten, but it's going to be a little difficult to do that.
All right, let's go out west, where we thought the biggest story for the USC Northwestern game would be the return of Elijah Arenas.
Still was a big story.
Highly touted recruit who obviously the return was delayed a little bit by injury. But Northwestern, which hadn't won a Big Ten game yet this season, and USC kind of holding on to that bubble and trying to get to the right side of it in terms of NCAA tournament, goes out there. Nick Martinelli leads them in scoring per usual, and the Wildcats pick up their first Big Ten win of the year.
Yeah, again, I think we have to give a lot of credit to Chris Collins and their staff that their group has stayed with it. They always fight. There's been a number of games this season in the Big Ten where they weren't able to close out games that they probably would love to have back. They were not a winless team. They were not a team that you can say, oh, that's an easy W for you, because they give. First of all, they've got a potential kind of All-American in some form or fashion in Martinelli, All-Big Ten player, one of the best scorers in the country. So that last night was an example where other pieces started to step up, and they went against a USC team that's unfortunately a little sort of out of sync. You bring in Arenas, great, but what does that do to everyone else? Took a lot of shots. Chad Baker-Mazara, who is usually a heavy volume shooter, he got in foul trouble, ends up fouling out. Jordan Marsh played really well for USC down the stretch, but they just weren't all on the same page going against a team that was really hungry, Northwestern. And that's a tough loss for USC.
At home, especially.
Metric-wise. That's going to really hurt. They'd already lost at home to Washington. So they're going to have to pick one up here going forward. They do get, at the end of the season, they get Nebraska at home. They're just going to have to find a way. Still have the 2 games against UCLA. That's a tournament team, but now they got to play like one and win some games.
Now, their road schedule is easier than the rest of the West Coast teams because you remember Eric Musselman asked for and received the opportunity from the Big Ten to play 3 road games in a row at the beginning of the restart of Big Ten play, and they did that, so that should help late in the year. Obviously, Elijah Arenas, if he plays to his potential, should help as well. He tried to get into the game last night, that's for sure. Took 15 shots. Trouble was he only made 3 of them. What's the potential of this young man when he does get his legs underneath him and he gets to actually dive into being part of this team?
No, look, last night, I had an NBA scout who I know pretty well, and we were talking about the top Big Ten player who could get drafted. Was it Bennett Sturts? Was it Hannah Steinbach? And he texted me last night because we were watching he was watching the game after our Nebraska game, and he says, hey, it could be Arenas. If he plays that was early in the game when he had the crazy spin move. You had Gilbert watching him right there. There were moments last night where you could see it.
Yeah, the athleticism's on display.
Yes. The problem for USC is, they had the summer to have Chad Baker-Mazara and Rodney Rice, 2 guys that need the basketball. They had the time to work that out together. Now, Rice is done. You bring in Arenas, who hasn't been practicing up until the last couple of days. So now you got to try to figure out, okay, how does Arenas play with Baker-Mazara, with Jordan Marsh? How do all those pieces fit? And you got to kind of do it on the fly. And so they're going to have to figure this out pretty quickly.
And you have to do it inside the Big Ten, one of the toughest places to play, especially when you go on the road. Northwestern 74-68 again. Feather in the cap to Chris Collins and that staff, because you go out west when you're sitting at 0-7 in the Big Ten, it takes some mental fortitude to play the way that they played.
If I can sneak this in, this is going to be an interesting game for UCLA. That's Northwestern's next game and UCLA's as well, in that the Bruins, high after beating Purdue, sold out. Poly won't be like that. Now you got a Northwestern team coming in feeling pretty confident. And if UCLA wants to get on the right side of the bubble, you got to win that game, and now it's going to be a lot tougher.
Right, because if you lose that game after beating Purdue, it takes so much shine off that win that was against, at that time, a top 5 team in the country. Andy's not